Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another video. And today is, what's today? February 20th, 2025, and it's Thursday. So tomorrow's Friday, the last trading day of the week. And yeah, today we made profits. As you can see, we're up $259.70, which is pretty standard for the silver bullet, and that is exactly what we got today. So I'm going to go to my preferences here and turn on chart executions. And as you can see, we ran up into this silver bullet right here. So after the initial displacement, which I'll go over later, price ended up trading into the silver bullet right here and aggressively moves lower, and we get our 5 handles. So pretty cool. And the idea here was I thought we were going to run to this lower quadrant of that 4-hour BISI here, but we ended up running into that lower quadrant of the daily BISI instead. So yeah, and I mean this move doesn't really look legitimate, honestly. We might be kind of, oh, never mind. But anyway, we got a silver bullet and we got 5 handles out of it. So win-win. So you can see, you go to my performance here. So not looking so good on the win rate here. I kind of, I mean, 37% is kind of bad. I mean, it's pretty terrible, I will admit. But overall, it's not as terrible as it could be. Which I want to get this number down some, and I want this to come up, which is going to eventually happen. So that means that we ended up, our best percentage, they actually came way down. Remember, this was like 130%. So this is, I think this is like one of the big things, like the little check marks on the combine challenge or whatever. But I think the most important thing is that kind of indicates that there's consistency, I guess. I don't know, but we just got to keep on going, especially with the way price has been. We're actually not doing too bad. Some of these trades will be looking like 30 trades out of 6. I mean, ours is only 10, which is not, I mean, I don't care. But what I do care about is this nice price action we've actually had this morning. It was actually a lot better than a lot of the other days we've traded. So we traded this silver bullet, and I seen this one here as well. That's that little gap right there. I knew we were going to trade into that and run lower. Now, how did I know we were going to run lower? Well, I seen this right here. Wait. Thought we deleted all of these. That's okay. Never mind. I thought I deleted these. I'll go over that in a minute. But we ended up running lower because we ran into the 15-minute imbalance right here, which I'm going to adjust my chart to kind of show. I'm going to delete these lines here and scoot these back if I can get it to do the thing. Okay, I have to extend it a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so we ran into this imbalance right here, which is a giant imbalance right here, as you can see. So that is the lower quadrant of the 15-minute SIBI. As you can see there, that blue line, that is the lower quadrant. And I was going to watch this. We were making this run low or higher here after this huge displacement down, and we ended up kind of consolidating around here, and I knew that was kind of a bearish move, because typically speaking, if you were bullish, if you were thinking this was going to be a bullish move here, you would want to see it run very aggressively above that quadrant. But as you can see, it slowed down a lot. And we had this small little gyrating back and forth kind of price action, and that was not really good. I knew, like, I probably would have seen this back in my early days. I would have went long there, but considering that we spent so much time above that lower quadrant in that specific area, I just kind of knew we were going to head lower. And sure enough, we did. We have the displacement here. We break the market structure because we break below that swing low there. And this would have been a good short entry right here. So that was also a silver bullet. I didn't go long in that, obviously. Or long. I didn't go short in it. But I just let it pass because I knew eventually I would wait later on. And we had another one right here. So we go short in that. And then we rally lower to our 5.25 handles. We didn't get to our terminus, which was that 4-hour quadrant, because I mean this gap is still kind of wide open and we're trading into the higher quadrant of it, but we're just not really making a big move upward to support the idea that we are going to be bullish from this swing low. So I do anticipate it running lower into it. Not to say it might happen, but it's kind of a high probability considering we are no longer kind of, you know, I mean, yeah, this overall market structure is just aiming for something lower. So yeah, we made money today, which is pretty good. We ended up doing the ES because I kind of just want to get this combine out of the way, and I know we'll get there eventually as long as we can prove consistency, and especially having better price today than we did yesterday. I mean, this was actually pretty good, I would say, because there was a lot of movement. I mean, these candles are pretty aggressive. Like this one candle here is 3 handles compared to something like that on, like, from yesterday where it's probably only 1 handle moves. And when you zoom out, it's actually very like sideways, but this is actually pretty good. So yeah, we made 5.25 handles today. And my stop, by the way, when I ended up going short in this silver bullet, my stop was right here, right above that volume imbalance right there. So I think it was at the consequence encroachment of this wick right there. So because you did have a risk of it running into that volume imbalance right here, but it ran aggressively lower. So I ended up going, I think the slippage or whatever, when it ended up hitting sell right here, it ended up going into that, I think it was like right here where we ended up going short in. Because I ended up hitting it right here, but it ended up filling me all the way up here. So we ended up trading into that midpoint, and once I seen that aggressive move lower, I knew we were going to get our 5 handles. So it was pretty cool to see. And I'm going to go over my journal and go over my journal or my journal screenshot that I do every single day when I trade. So go to ES7 summary right here on the 20th. So this is what my journal looks like, and you can see the same kind of formula here and there. I just don't have the annotations. So price swings for the lower quadrant of the 15-minute SIBI, that sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, and goes lower. This is a bearish move. Note the aggressive move lower after this. So after it initially runs into that, we see how weak it kind of is to go up, and it runs aggressively lower, hitting that low right there. And we close below it as well. And this means that it can potentially head lower to whatever it's targeting. And so we can enter short there, and then it goes even lower, and we went short here. And it says we witnessed displacement lower. This means that price is reaching for a sell side target, which it was my terminus was the lower quadrant of that 4-hour BISI, as I mentioned earlier. The draw is probably to the lower quadrant of the 4-hour BISI lower. So that's what I was aiming for. Once I seen this displacement, that's what I was kind of eyeing before I even entered the trade. So something I always predetermine before I enter. I always make sure to know where it's actually going to go and not just getting in because it's going lower. That's not what I do. It just kind of makes you feel a little bit better, I promise. So here's the overall like paragraph here. Today was a bit better than most days this week. Despite some of the swings here and there, we ended up with a profitable silver bullet trade. We took the 10:46 a.m. fair value gap right here and got our target of 5.25 handles. I wanted to go short after price had traded into the lower quadrant of the 15-minute SIBI and ran lower. I entered short at the silver bullet, and price respected the consequence encroachment of it and runs aggressively lower, as you can see here. This means that it was in a high probability setup, and it sure was, because we had seen the wick right here run into that silver bullet and then quickly shift lower and just closes like that. So that kind of told me that we were going to run even lower to our 5.25 handle target. Oh, okay, geez. I'm talking so much. So, we're kind of consolidating here. We ended up running into that macro that happens right here. So we ended up doing that. Did I delete this? I could have sworn I deleted it. I think I bring it back. Anyway, so that's the overall trade. That's the premise I had this morning. So a lot better than yesterday. A lot better price action today because we actually had some substantial moves lower, which I was happy to see. And I didn't feel distracted. I didn't feel like my head was full of fog. And I actually waited patiently. I didn't really want to go long here because I just didn't really trust this leg up. I knew like we had this huge aggressive move, and I believe this was just more of like a rebalance effort, kind of trading into some sort of quadrant or whatever, and then it was going to run lower. That's kind of the premise I had. So my internet ended up actually going out right here. I don't know why, but yeah. So anyway, I don't know what else to say. I don't want to keep going on and about this, but we just made a profitable trade today, and I hope to continue doing this. So we'll be trading tomorrow as well. I'm going to see what the PM session does. I'm going to probably just do a practice trade in that. Yeah, some of the ums, just so we can get a little bit more familiar with the PM silver bullet, especially between 2 to 3 o'clock PM in the afternoon session. So we might see some pretty good moves there, possibly to sell side or whatever. So I won't be recording that. I always do the morning session trades because that's actually when I physically trade the silver bullet and doing it with the actual combine. So I'm not going to be doing no practice trades on here or anything. But anyway, I hope to see you all in the next video. And yeah, take care and have a good day. Peace out.